Good morning. Good morning. It's good to be. It's still a beautiful day today, and today I would like to start another whole different segment. We're not going to be elaborating on the Bible today. We're going to be elaborating on basic experience that we have in our life. And I went through some experiences. To tell you the truth, I've been married 3 times, and I'm just going to elaborate on some of the things that I experienced. And I'm not going to blame. I'm not blaming anybody or pointing the fingers at anybody. Well, what I would like to say is, an experience I had is anytime you get involved with a woman who have kids, you got to learn to understand that, especially the men's out there, you single men's out there, and looking for a woman in your life, and she's finally have kids, and ain't nothing wrong with that because it works. It'll work if the woman that you with and she got kids, appreciate the little small things that you do for her. And when I say the little small things you do for her, if let's make a long story short, if the biological father, is not providing for those kids or not doing for those kids financially like he's supposed to, and let's say, John, you come in the picture and she wants you in the picture, but those are not your biological kids. If the landslide comes in, why I call it a landslide? The landslide is, let's give a good example. Let's say that grounds that's solid and won't give away. We notice a lot of things going on that won't give away. It's solid and it won't give away. But this landslide comes to you, gentlemen, when this particular land will break away at any given time. You don't know how to break away. Y'all know. Let me give you an example. Like in California, they have landslides in California because that's moist, and some of the land is not solid. Landslide, mud, water, damp may get up under. But you can look at it and it looks like it's pretty solid. It really look like it's pretty solid. It look like it won't break away. But all of a sudden you can be driving along the road and that land could be moving and sweep you way off the road. All right, and that's a good example. Like I look at that, like if you with a woman that got kids, and the biological father's not helping to support, you're gonna get a landslide. That means that you may be in there for love, but financially, eventually it's gonna bankrupt. And bankrupt mean that you're never gonna be able to do enough for the children if she's not in it with you for love. So that's what I call a landslide. And if she in it for you, if she in it with you for love, then she's gonna appreciate every little bit of things you do for her and her children. And that's what she's gonna realize and get her submissiveness gonna come from there. She's gonna say, "Oh man, I found me a man. I found me a man." She's not gonna be looking at the idea that you can pay some of the bills and do some of the things that along the line supposed to come. But if the man doing for those kids and he's not biological of their father, then that's where her submissiveness should come in. She should be thankful for what the man is doing, because remember, the biological father may not be doing nothing. So she should be thankful if she got a man doing something for her kids. And if he's doing something for her kids, then down the line, we already know those other things will fall in place. So she should make herself available and feel submissive to that man. He should be a good candidate for a person that she should be looking to be married, because he cares about those kids, especially if they got a good relationship. But women that not in it for love, that's the first thing pops up. They're not in it for love. The financial landslide comes in play. That means it will break and destroy everything you try to build with her, because she's not in it for love. That's when the money picture pops out. That's when you see the side effects of the money picture. But if she know that man is can get along well with the kids, and 9 times out of 10, if he's helping with those kids, she should be thankful for that. And if he helping with anything around the house and doing things around the house, remember, that's still for her and her kids. And if he's not able to financially take care of all the things that he's supposed to do, let's say for instance, she give him a bill and he pays the bill. And could be a lot of bills, but if he pays the bill, she should be thankful. So, because some women out there, they still feel that you obligated to do this because I'm doing this and I'm doing that for you. No, you got to look at it like this. Whenever someone do something for you, let them do it from their heart. Don't obligate a person to do something from it, especially when you remember this, they're not their biological kid. And you should be thankful for that. Any person should be thankful for anybody coming in their life doing anything for their kids, especially when it's not their biological kids. Because if somebody gave my daughter, I got a daughter that's 15 years old. If somebody gave my daughter a glass of water and it's not his biological kid, I'm thankful for that. Because you know why I say a glass of water? Because he don't have to do much to prove nothing to me for my child. He done something. If he done something, he done it from heart. See, a lot of men out there try to do this and try to do that and try to impress and prove. But remember, if it's not done from the heart, that ain't gonna do no good. That's gonna be what you call a landslide. The foundation you're trying to build is not going to be solid with her. That's what I'm trying to say this morning. And this morning I'm talking about a landslide. It's off the record. Landslide that you should be careful, especially young men, single men, men out there with a job. If you get in a relationship with a woman and if she got kids and they're not your kids, remember you're going to have frustration. You're going to have some financial situation going on there because it's not going. In some instances, not in all cases. But in some instances, in some cases, women who got kids, not all cases, they forget what a person do for their kid. Especially remember, this is not your child. These landslides you have to be careful with, and not just women. Men have to be careful with them landslides too, because there can be a man with some kids, and it can be opposite. And have a woman, if she's not doing whatever, she may be with the man and say, oh, I pay all the bills I do for your kid, you do for mine. Remember, if we do anything for anybody's kid, whether they're mine or whether they're yours, let it be done out of love. And that's what we can get, that's where we can go back and have a solid foundation. Let things be done in love. Let everything be done in love. So we're going to go to that 1 Corinthians 13 chapter. I want you to read that verse, and it talks about that. And if you're going to build any relationship in your lifetime, this is the weekly message for the week. I'm going to be a little bit off the record. I'm going to talk about what happened socially that you see out in the world today. Socially, what you see out in the world today. You see a lot of people in relationship with people that got kids and they're not biological, they're kids. And some people feel that they're obligated. They're supposed that the person with them, if it's not their biological kid, they feel like they're supposed to be obligated to do for them kids. Remember, if the father's not doing anything for them kids, it's going to be a financial landslide. Somebody said, what do that mean? That means there's going to be money that's missing, supposed to be there helping. And the woman, if she's not making the man help her with her own biological kids, then whatever you do for us, not all women, whatever you do for her is never going to be enough. Never going to be able to satisfy it. Because she has what we call a financial landslide going on there. And what's going to happen, every time you try to do something, she's going to be complaining because it's never going to be enough. Not all women. It just, the women that's not in it, especially the women that's not in it, I'm speaking when I said not all women, not women that's not in it for the money. But women that's in it for the money, is because they have a landslide going on. They have a their financial forecast is not stable. And it's not stable because their biological father to the kids that she have is not doing for them kids. So I want you to take note of this. Not all women, some women. I want you to take note of this. If the biological father is not doing for those kids, then if you get involved with her, then most women they try to entice you and try to make you come along with them. They entice you, and not most of them won't entice you. They'll let you come on and get in a relationship with them. But you know what's going to happen there. You're going to have frustration. You're going to have problems, especially if the biological father not taking care of his business. Anytime a man not taking care of his own personal business and taking care of his kids, there's always going to be a financial hardship, a financial landslide, especially with a woman got biological kids, especially with a woman that got kids, and that's not their biological father, biological mother. So they can go for a man or a woman. If you're not their biological father, you're not their biological mother, that's going to be a landslide. There's going to be financial hardship. There's going to be issues. And they're going to pop up, especially when they're not doing it out of love. And remember, when we do things out of love, we don't find faults. We don't point fingers. Remember, we don't find fault. We don't point fingers. We do it from our heart. And love don't supposed to say, oh, I did this. And love don't supposed to hold injury. You got to learn to understand that, because sometimes these people that you get involved with and they have kids that are not biological theirs, especially when it's not biologically yours, go for the woman or man. And sometimes these issues come up and then they don't turn around and forgive. You got to learn how to forgive and forget, let the past go. Some people live their whole life. They live their whole life in that. You can tell when things not done out of love, because people still go back in the past, what you've done to me or what I've done to you. And today, I just hope you take this weekly message. It's what I call a landslide. Landslide means that when a relationship is not based on love, the ground is going to break. Disaster, unexpectedly. So that's what happened to a landslide. When you look up on a big hill and you're driving through there, most of those landslides, this take a video. Most of those landslides, they automatically break away without the person even knowing it, unexpectedly. Not expecting it to. You don't even know when it's going to break away, but when it do, it destroy a whole lot of people's lives. It destroy people's lives. So that's what we have in most relationships, especially when the kids are not biological yours. Sometimes you may feel that you doing the best you can for them, whether you're a woman or man, but you got to remember this. You may doing the best you can for them, but at the same time, you got to remember this. If their heart is not in it, people's heart's not in something, they talk about what happened in the past. When their heart not in it, remember that. But when a person's heart's in it, they don't think about the past. They forgive you and they go on. That's the only way you're gonna be able to have any strong, successful relationship with anyone. You got to learn to forgive and forget. Let it go on. Well, you can go on with your life. So that's what I wanted to talk about this morning, because we see a lot of that in the world today. We see a lot of people in relationship that have kids not biological theirs. Whether it's a woman or man, they got to realize that it's not going to be easy. And if especially the person is you with the person, if it is not love in it, then that woman or that particular man is not going to show you and not going to be able to give you the type of love you're looking for, because financial landslide is for people who are looking for compensation for losses of fathers, biological fathers and biological mothers supposed to be supporting the children. So those ground break away. Most good marriages, you find marriages break away because of financial forecast is not stable. What I mean, the money is not being managed right. Sometimes you get in them, you see these landslide women you get involved with, they don't even pay the bill right. Got the money to pay the bill, but don't pay the bill right, and turn around and let stuff get taken from them. Women and men do that. They let stuff get taken from them, especially those who have kids, and not because they have the money, not because they don't have the money. It's because they don't manage money right, and they don't sit down and talk to their mate and make sure to let them know that that's going to be a shortage here. It ain't going to be an easy ride. See, when you got people out there, women and men that you're not their biological father or mother, then you got to sit down with them and talk to them and say, hey, this ain't going to be no easy ride, because there's a big shortage. And what the shortage is, the big shortage in finance, a big shortage because these kids, whether they're a woman or man, parents are not supporting them. They're not helping me. So in order to have us, I want to leave to you today, in order to have a successful relationship with anyone, especially when there are kids that don't belong to you, the person got to accept the love and see the love that you're giving. You may not can compensate or support them financially, but if anything done out of love, then all those things work together. Romans 8:28, all those things work together. So I just had that on my heart this morning. I like to just talk to people out there who in relationship and they're not the biological mother or they're not the biological father. That in some cases you can't save them because there already been a financial shortage already before you met them. And if they with you for love, then they're not going to be pointing out what you don't do and what you're not able to do. Especially, remember this, if they point fingers at anybody, they should be pointing fingers at their father and mother who's not what? Paying child support or supporting their child financially. If they point fingers at anybody, they need to be pointing fingers at the parents that who's not supporting their kids financially in a relationship, especially when you're a stepmother and you're a stepfather. So y'all take that today. I just had somebody to talk about it today. And y'all have a good one today. This is our weekly message for this morning. I had it on my heart, and I just want to go at it like that this morning, talk about something like that, because we have all different type of issues today, and the devil, he throws all these kind of things out at us. He throws all these kind of things out of us. If you're not the biological mother and you're not the biological father, then there's going to be some landslides. That means that you're going to wonder what's going on, why I can't do enough, why I'm not able to help enough, why I'm not able to let the person see that I have some type of value, even if I can't. You're never going to be able to compensate for the financial shortage, because that was there before you met them. Especially when they told you the father and the mother's not paying child support, or they're not doing anything financial to help their kids. So remember this. And when you get in a relationship like that, and if you don't see that the person accepting your love and see your love, and you remember this, I'm going to say it again. You're not going to be able to compensate for that financial shortage that father, that biological father and the biological mother not doing. You're not going to be able to save that on that. But if the person see you in love, then, and they're not complaining about that, then that's a good fall. But if they're complaining, remember, they shouldn't be pointing fingers at you. They should be pointing fingers at their father and their mother, that biological father and mother that not supporting that child, and it cause that relationship to have a financial shortage. So that's what I want to talk about today. And anybody want to give any comments on that, they can get their own comments and the way they see it. But I see this as when you get in any relationship, whether they're your kids or whether they're not your kids, you should get in it for love, and that's a sacrifice you make for. And you shouldn't be complaining in a relationship that if that's a financial shortage, because it was, especially when the father and the biological mother's not helping and supporting. Sometimes these relationships won't last, especially if it's not done, especially if it's not in love. Love don't find fault, it don't point fingers. If you don't believe that, find that in 1 Corinthians 13 chapter. Y'all have a good weekend, have a good day, and that's just something I just want to bring to y'all attention today. This is a little bit off record. I just want to have these about relationships I see out in the world, the relation I experience myself, and not just me. I know a whole lot of other people out there experiencing the same thing. They're not the biological parent, and they seem like they just can't do enough. Enough is never enough. If the person not receiving you out of love, if they don't appreciate the small things you do, because remember, you're never going to be able to compensate for that financial shortage that they have, because it was there before you got there. So don't be so hard on yourself. If you see you can't do it and you're not being received out of love, flee. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you.